So, have you ever looked at a college assignment and thought, what does this have to do with anything? Well, today we're going to talk about Bloom's taxonomy. And Bloom's is a great way to look at how an assignment is crafted and what the purpose behind that assignment really is. Now, to do this, we first need to understand what exactly is Bloom's taxonomy. So, the taxonomy suggests a hierarchical order in learning that can help instructors design assignments to teach and evaluate knowledge and skills acquisition based on specific learning outcomes. Holy hell, what does that mean? Well, let's put it in plain English. As the saying goes, you need to crawl before you can walk, and you need to walk before you can run. Well, this suggests a hierarchy. First you crawl, then you can walk, then you can run. And so how you design an assignment to teach and evaluate learning acquisition differs from tier to tier. The way you teach a kid to crawl differs from how you teach them to walk, differs from how you teach them to run. And this is what Bloom's taxonomy does for instructors. It gives them this hierarchy that we can use to design assignments. Now, Bloom's was first created by Benjamin Bloom in 1956. Since then, it has been updated numerous times, most recently and most notably by Lauren Anderson and David Kratwall. How do you pronounce that? I don't know, but back in 2001. And it's really this form of Bloom's that we're going to be exploring today. Now, one quick disclaimer. An assignment and its adherence to the stated learning objectives and Bloom's taxonomy will never be perfect. But as professors, we try. We honestly try. So, you know what? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but we do what we can. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and get into Bloom's, and I will get out of the way here a little bit. So we start out with this hierarchy, and at the very bottom level, the first thing we do is remember. We're just talking rote memorization here. So recognizing or recalling things that you've learned, such as vocabulary terms, principles, concepts, and so forth. There's nothing there but just rote memorization. Now, when you look at assignments that are really geared toward remembering, the assignments are going to say things like define this term, or match this word with this definition, or identify this, or list that, or name this. Very, very basic memorization assignments. Okay, so then the next one is understanding. It's not enough that we just memorize something. We now need to show that we understand it or develop an understanding. So we want to demonstrate an understanding of the principles and concepts, providing examples, comparisons, and summarizing ideas. So once again, when we look at assignments that are all based around understanding, we're going to see things like describe what this means, or differentiate this concept from that concept, discuss this principle, explain, or give an example of X, Y, and Z. This demonstrates understanding. Next, we have applying. Okay, so we've memorized these terms and we've developed a basic understanding, but how do we actually use these principles in the real world? So applying the principles in real-world scenarios, demonstrating your ability to implement what you have learned to solve problems, that's what the applying tier is all about. So in assignments, we'll see things like apply, determine, explore, use, or illustrate how you can use this principle in a real-world scenario. All right? Now, if we are talking college courses, most of the time, college courses that are about the 100 level to 200 level, 1000 to 2000, 101, 201, you get what I'm saying. Courses in the 1 to 200 level tend to focus on remembering, understanding, and they start to dabble in application. Now, this doesn't mean that this is the case in every single course. It's just a general rule of thumb, okay? And when I say dabble in application, I mean the applying tier. All right, let's keep going. So next we have analyzing. Analyzing is breaking the principle or concept down into its constituent parts, considering the merit of these parts, and coming to improved insights. So you are gaining new insights into an idea by breaking it down and examining and critically analyzing each one of these constituent parts. So an assignment is going to say things like analyze, break down, compare, contrast, examine, outline, things of this nature. Then we have evaluating. The evaluating tier is all about critiquing a work based on the merits of its arguments, its understanding of the material, and its use of credible resources. So an evaluating assignment will say things like evaluate, assess, critique, defend, or justify. Now, once again, speaking in broad general terms, this tier really starts to come about in the 300 to 400 level of your classes. So you're talking your junior and senior year of your bachelor's degree. They really focus in understanding, applying, definitely in analyzing, and they start to tickle the evaluating sphere, okay, or the evaluating tier. That brings us finally to creating. Creating is generating new theories, explanations, and insights, synthesizing a new whole from the sum of its parts. So an assignment that focuses on creating will say things like create, combine, construct, formulate, develop, things like that. And in general, it's really around the grad level. So grad school, if you're working on a master's, or definitely if you're working on a PhD or something like that. But a master's level program is going to be really, really focused in analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Your master's thesis, your PhD dissertation, these are all around creating, synthesizing new theories and new understanding. So there you go. You now have a competitive advantage because you have a better understanding of how your assignments line up with what the instructor wants to help you learn. So as you develop skills, you can kind of figure out, where am I in Bloom's taxonomy? All right? Hey, thanks a lot. And until we talk again, have a fantastic day.